The smartest thing I think to start is, why don't we go back in past vlogs? You know that Brian vlogged everything, so when he hatched that first mystery, I know it has to be in one of these videos. So my thought is, let's do some detective work. Let's go back in some of these old vlogs and see what he has titled Mystery Snake or something about producing a mystery snake and seeing what I can come up with. All right, guys, so I have two possibilities here. One says mystery snake solved, which is ahead of the game. The other one says, what did I just hatch? Mystery snake. So I think that's the one that I'm actually gonna start searching first. So dramatic.
After getting back from the radio station, I figured we're gonna jump right into an egg cutting right now. Ooh, this is really interesting though. What in the world? Now this could be a lorry spider, just different than the other lorry spiders, but this literally looks axanthic. I mean, like lorry.
This isn't the mystery. All right, guys, I was wrong. This definitely wasn't about the mystery ball python. This was just something to do in the lorry project that he was kind of excited about, trying to figure out. So this is not what I was looking for. I need to keep looking. So I think my only answer right now is to go to this mystery solved one. I do know this one is about the mystery gene. Let's go look at this and see if I can get some answers.
Do you remember these purpley gray snakes from the mystery clutch? Well, today we're actually one step closer to understanding what exactly is going on with the mystery gene. Now, if you guys remember, this is actually the mystery female, the mom to the babies that I just showed you, that popped out randomly just about 5 years ago. That's just out of nowhere, which is absolutely incredible. And then all of a sudden we were like,
what? So in this video, he says about 5 years ago. But Brian also exaggerates a lot, but it does give me some clues because this video was in 2022. That means I can actually go back in some of the old egg data books. So every year we wrote down the clutches, we wrote down all the information. So if I know 2022, and then let's find those and see how far back that I can find the first mystery clutch labeled in those. So this is my thought process when it comes to solving this mystery is, if I can find out the actual year that that first one was produced, then that helps me a lot. The way that I'm gonna try to do that right now is take this, look back in through these old egg data books and see the first year that he actually wrote down mystery ball python bred. I can then go back 1, maybe 2 years prior, and that would be when those first animals were actually produced that he would raised up and bred. I don't know, it's a lot of hard work, but I think this is the way that I'm going to be able to solve when these things were first hatched.
this is the original mystery mom, which is just a normal pinstripe ball python. Now, we brought in the pinstripe ball pythons in the late 90s and proved them out to be an incomplete dominant. Well, they don't have a super version, but about 50% of the babies, when produced to a normal, will come out like pinstripe. You can see they're very much pinstripe. There's got a little bit of dotting on them, but not too terribly much. So when weird stuff started to pop out of this girl, it didn't make a lot of sense. Nothing was more shocking than when I took that pinstripe to a black pewter ball python, which is a pastel and a black pastel. We popped out the original mystery female. That was actually the mom to the clutch of the purple little baby. So this entire process has been
in my research trying to figure out exactly what is involved in this gene or what other genes Brian had introduced into this mystery gene. I'm trying to actually write down and figure out all this data. So I know the original female was a pinstripe female, and then I'm trying to remember what he just said in the beginning that he bred her to first and foremost.
and she was bred to this mystery male, which was
So he didn't say. Okay, he was just saying for that clutch that he bred it to a mystery male. All right. Obviously, that mystery male had some pastel in it because it looked like a lemon blast, but it just had a crazy pattern. Now here,
and the first clutch that the mystery female actually had, we popped out a number of animals that were all very different. This is just a pastel in a pinstripe. You can see the pinstripe isn't pinstriped at all. It's all broken up. There's lots of dotting and freckling and blushing. Take a look at this one with all that yellow in it. Absolutely incredible. You can barely even see that it's a pinstripe ball python. Again, these should just be pastel pinstripes that are called lemon blast, but they look nothing like it. And these were the males that I bred this year.
So this video is brought to you by Raycon. Honestly, I've been using Raycon's Open Essential earbuds every day, and they seamlessly just have slipped into my daily routine. I don't even have to think about them. One of the things I love the most is their secure fit. No matter if I'm working, if I'm running around, or even at the gym, their secure fit makes sure they stay right where they belong in my ears. And what amazes me the most about this open ear design is the fact that it actually sits right outside your ear. That way you get the best of both worlds. You can still hear your music or podcast, whatever you're listening to, but you can also be aware of your surroundings around you. And the way they have this really cool multi-angular rotating ear hook really makes sure it's secure on my ear. I really like that. Not to mention the multi-point connection. It seamlessly connects between anything that I'm going through, phone, computer, anything I need. And that 36-hour battery life, man, you can't top that. And honestly, the sound quality of these guys rivals the big brands. And you can't beat that because these guys are about half the price. And with a 30-day happiness guarantee, you've got nothing to lose by trying them. And that's why I love my Raycons. And I think if you try them, you're gonna love them too. Black Friday is around the corner. Raycon audio products are up to 30% off site-wide, from everyday essentials to the latest releases. It's the perfect time to upgrade your sound or get ahead on gifting. These early deals won't last long. Shop now before they're gone. Just click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/BryanBOpen to save on Raycon audio products site-wide. Just like I said, that is exactly it. So we started out with a pinstripe female where this originated from. So this hidden gene was somehow with her, or potentially a pastel male. He didn't say what that was bred to, but he produced Lemon Blast, which is a pastel pinstripe. So it could have been a Lemon Blast male, or it could have just been a pastel male. Either way, we're accounting for those two genes. And what we have is some kind of a pattern confusion type of a gene going on. Not so much necessarily color right now. Now, let me see what else he added in, because unfortunately, he was adding more different mutations in as well, which is making it much more confusing for me.
But once this clutch was actually hatched, which was the mystery male to the normal female, I actually am able to see some differences here. Now, to give you an idea, again, this is a normal pinstripe. You can see the striping down. It's got a few freckles on it, nothing too major. Looks pretty normal, right? And this is actually a normal pastel pinstripe, which is a Lemon Blast, which again, you see a little bit of dotting and stuff like that. Let's get into the crazy stuff. Look at this animal right here. That is the mystery gene. There's no doubt about it. You can see the massive difference between the two here. All of the freckling, the way it's broken up. It doesn't have that complete pinstripe down its back. The pattern is all over the body. And again, you see another one that is very similar. Also much brighter too. It's like it's got more yellow to it. So this is the base morph of the actual mystery gene. The question is that what can I do from here, and why when we breed this base morph that is this granite looking pattern, why when we breed it to certain things does it blow out all the pattern? That still is a mystery. So now I've identified the base morph.
Okay. I need to do some more research of what else he bred into this project, because I know he said black pastel, and I see these darker animals that obviously have that black pewter, black pastel-y look to it too. But it still doesn't make sense to me, because some of these different things with the pattern erasing completely, or even these white animals that are popping up, that doesn't make sense. But I have a feeling that he might have bred some other genes in here that are also confusing this. So let me keep looking.
Because this is the base morph. Again, don't know if it's incomplete dominant. I'm expecting it will be. And maybe possibly those patternless animals are actually the super version of this. We'll find out more next year because we have more animals up to size. I'm excited about it, but again, I need a name for it. I think we finally have identified the actual base morph, and we have another clutch I can show you even more.
Okay guys, let me tell you another fun fact. Brian made this also very confusing, because while a lot of times with these weird tinker projects, I didn't pay much attention when he was doing stuff. Some of these things he had marked Scooby, and some of them he had marked mystery. I thought they were two different genes. Obviously from this video, they're all the same.
I don't mind the Scooby gene. It's actually pretty cool. Let me know in the comments if you like the Scooby gene, or if you think something else
gives me, again, more information than I need. Let me keep looking.
But this would actually be a black pastel pinstripe mystery animal. You see the pattern is completely whacked out. Lots and lots of granating. Doesn't look like a black pastel pinstripe at all, which is really cool. And then this is actually more of a normal pinstripe with what looks like the mystery gene. It's not as freckled as the other ones, but you can tell the pinstripe is complete.
Okay, in this clutch that he's looking at here, obviously black pastel was introduced from what is coming out of here. So that gives me more genetics to look at. But again, none of these genes, if you mix them together in and of themselves, will definitely erase pattern like this does, or give you a white snake either. So I still have some pretty big holes here to really understanding exactly what this mystery gene is and what exactly it can do besides scramble the pattern.
Not as freckled as the other ones, but you can tell the pinstripe is completely blown out. There's hardly any striping down at all. Now there is what they call polymorphism, morphism within pinstripe, but this looks nothing like it with the blushing and everything like that. So I'm starting to figure out things. Now, interestingly enough, I don't know any of these pastels, black pastels, or normal. I don't know if they're mystery gene. I don't see anything different in that. And I wonder if the expression of them is going to be different. With that being said, look at this. This is actually a black pastel, but look at the striping down its back. Really interesting, unlike a normal cinnamon or black pastel. So I'm wondering if that's the way the mystery gene is expressing in this particular thing.
Really interesting that he would say that. I think, honestly, it could be a reach. I know in that gene, or in that clutch, that black pastel kind of had a stripe down its back. I get it that he thought maybe this is what's going on, but also sometimes those kind of patterny things are just random in the wild too. So I'm not so certain is that that is necessarily part of the mystery gene, but honestly, who knows? Well, that's all I got out of that, but it's something, and it gives me the few pieces I need to start digging a little bit deeper so I can find out what other videos I can now look into as well. Okay, so we're gonna go into Brian's office, and most of it is pretty much the same. I haven't really done anything in here. So this is usually where all the egg data books were kept, is somewhere here in the office, probably I know on his desk. I am not sure. Let's start with the obvious on top. There was a certain type of notebook that the egg data books always were. I know because I bought them every year, and those are not it. So let's just start looking drawers. It'd be really nice if this was real, but this is definitely prop money. What does this say? Screw? Scoo? Not really sure, but it looks right up Brian's alley. Lots of Sharpies, lots of back scratchers. No egg books. Nope. Uh-oh, that didn't sound good. I'm bored. Ow! Not sure what that is. More the devil's boots. Great. Whiskey, drunk as hell. Maybe I'll listen to that one later. But no, nope, books. Not an egg data book. Leopard gecko eggs. Are you kidding me? You know what? I guarantee you he did this because he was trying to keep them and I kept throwing them away. That's pretty dang funny. But I did find 2022 ball python book. So that's good. This is one I need actually. I don't see any more in there. So what the heck is this? Organize, pack, return drone, figure out live stream, write TBTV episode. What the heck is this? It's almost like some kind of clue to a scavenger hunt? Why is it in a frame? I should have probably went through this a lot sooner. I have no idea what the heck this is. I don't even know if I want to know. We're just gonna keep it right there with the leopard gecko eggs, but that is weird as heck. I'm gonna have to ask some people about that one. All right, here we go. I knew that he had a bunch. These are what egg data books look like, and they always, I don't know why this one doesn't have a year on them. They always do, see? Okay, 2013, ball python. 2010, colubrids, 2012, leopard gecko, 2013, this is colubrids. Here's one. I can see right now this is ball python, and I didn't have a year on it. Good Lord. All right, I'll just put it in the pile. This is ball pythons, whatever. 2011, 2014, 2009. So if we go back, all right, he said 2022 in about 5 years. So I'm looking 2017. This goes pretty far back though. 12, 2008, 2007. As you can see, we are a collector of everything. And not only 2005, 10, 6, 9, 8. Oh, let's see what the oldest one we have in here is. 7. That's not an egg data book. 6. 2005. Is that the youngest one I said? I think so. Oh, wait. Found some more. 8 and 9 too. So I don't know. There's a lot here. That's a page. That's colubrid at least. So that's not going to affect me. Oh. Along with the old breeding schemes. This is back when he would be like, okay, this is the male, and then these are all the females. Gotta love the days of not logging stuff on a computer, right? Anyways, so we said 2017 was the one we were looking for, right? So the thing that makes sense, let's go, do we have a 2021? I want to go back in order. Just leave that there. So, I don't have the years that I need. And why am I not surprised? Nothing is ever freaking easy. So if they're not here, I need to go look some more. A lot of things got moved into a lot of different places, unfortunately, especially over the last couple years. I'm gonna check a few spots up here, and then I'm gonna jump downstairs. No, this isn't big enough. This is leopard gecko stuff from Jessica. Not what I'm looking for. Ugh.
I haven't seen like a collection of binders or anything. I've got the one book down in the Utica basement.
Nope, not that one. So, let's see. Well, that's colubrid. Normally I had the colubrid ones because I bred the colubrids. See, these are not ball pythons. They are just colubrids. Do you like my file system? Pretty bad. Oh, wait. 2020. This is ball pythons, and don't really have a date on it. Wait. Okay, wait. Yep, so okay, here. 2019. So that would mean this is 2018. Yep, 2018. Which would mean this is 2017. That's good. Good thing I am organized. So in that video, Brian said 5 years ago. But that doesn't necessarily mean it was 5 years ago, because time is fluent, right? But the good thing is, now that I have all these egg data books, I really do have all the answers I need through all these. Now I just have to spend the time to look into it. All right, guys, so what I did last night is I took all those egg data books home and I was looking through and scouring, and I got some good information out of them. So the first year I saw Brian bred a mystery female was actually in 2020's data book. So that means it probably had to be 2 years prior to that minimum for that female to be up to size to breed. Then I have to go back 2 years past and just see. I know it was the female pinstripe. Luckily enough, I was sitting there last night and I was searching, and I found this video here, which gave me the answers that I needed. So the original female was actually that pinstripe female that we know, but that video gave me the answer that the original male was a pastel lesser, which honestly I kind of needed to know, because I'm also trying to rule out other genes that would have been into play in this and making sure it just wasn't something that already exists. But pastel lesser, that's pretty straightforward. So there wasn't any crazy pattern changing genes that's in that combo. Now I go back and I'm looking through to see, finding that pair, and then I'm gonna look and see what I have throughout the collection in all of these clutches, because I'm not gonna lie, guys, obviously There was a lot going on these past couple years. Brian had a ton of stuff that he had labeled keep, which, you know, a lot of it was just a bunch of crazy stuff that made no sense. So over the last few years, I did get rid of a lot of stuff, not knowing potentially whether it was a part of this group or not. So now I have to do the diligence of seeing what I have left and seeing what exactly I do have other than my adult breeders from this mystery gene. I'm gonna start from earliest and move my way back. So the last breeding Brian did was actually in this book here, and that was 2022. Mystery clutches I have highlighted here, and I can see what I've already pulled aside. So raising up that I have here is this clutch 76 mystery, which proves out right here. Now, there was 7 eggs in that clutch. I have 2, 4, 5 that I pulled here, all females. I don't know. I'm gonna look on the other side. Maybe I have some of the other males that I just didn't think were worth keeping. This is all I have in my breeder size raise up from the mystery gene. So now I gotta flip over to the other side of what I have left that's possibly for sale. All right, I have a few things here. Now I have to grab the egg data books. So I have this clutch 75 Pashet Sunset to male mystery here. That is not in 2022 because those numbers don't match. I do have, this says male mystery keep, and that is from 2023. So this is a male mystery that I found from 2023, marked keep. As you can see, this is definitely one that obviously has the Lemon Blast colors on it. Also could have some of the other genes, but it does have that crazy whacked out pattern. Okay, I have another male, so that's good. Let's see what else I have. Looking at 2020, that's not it. Do I not even have a 2023? I don't even have a 2023 book. And I know why that is, because that year I think Brian didn't do most of the breeding, so I don't know where, if any, of those things were written. But luckily, it's on the cage here and it's 2023. So this is bred to a Pashet Sunset, which basically would be like a normal. So I have 2 of these. They're not even sexed. Should I start with that? I'm gonna guess it's a girl. Nope, that's a boy. All right, so this is a male. I can tell by looking at it that it is clearly not a pastel. It's very dark. It's hard to say now because it's literally deep in blue. It has darker colors. It definitely has that crazy patterning that we're looking at. I will mark that one as a male. And then, what do I have here? So both of these I feel are deep in shed. This one definitely has kind of a crazy pattern to it that looks more like cinnamon, both males. Okay, so I have 2 males here. So this was a male mystery number 2 to a Pashet Sunset female, which basically is kind of just like breeding it to a normal. The possibility of it being a het is probably very low. I mean, it's in there, but so we have these 2 animals, which are also very deep in shed. So I definitely am gonna look at these once they both shed, probably next week, and really be able to see exactly what kind of genes we're looking at. This one here, I guess if you look right here, could potentially have that pattern diffusion, but definitely not on top, not like the other ones. So hard to really say what genes this one may or may not have versus the other one. So those are 2. I know I probably have more. Let's keep looking. This rack here is my last available possibility, and I actually do see some stuff here. So this one here, clutch 78, is marked mystery, but also Lemon Blast and keep, and it's a female. So this one definitely looks a lot more Lemon Blast than the mystery, but I think I still do see a little bit potential of that. So this is a girl. Obviously she's huge, she's big enough. I need to move her to the keeper rack, put a little food to her, but I think I can definitely probably breed her this year for sure. All right guys, I actually do have an adult female Lemon Blast right here. Putting her next to this one, there is definitely a difference in the patterning. Sometimes it's hard to tell if you don't have them side by side, but this is definitely has a lot more going on than just your typical Lemon Blast gene. So she is definitely expressing that mystery gene look to her. So this is kind of cool. I definitely am gonna put her in the breeding group and have to decide what we're doing with the rest. The cool thing about this is if you look at these two animals, they clearly share the same genes, but this mystery one definitely has a lot more going on than just the lemon blast. You can see the difference here, even though they're similar in the crazy pattern that's going on in this girl versus the much more calmed down, just regular kind of pinstripey look on this one. While they look very, very similar, you can definitely tell the difference. As you can see in the lemon blast, there's definitely some striping and there's even some freckling that's in there. But then when you look at this one that has the mystery gene in it, how much more, even though it looks the same, it's extreme. This gene here is definitely changing it a lot. It is definitely a pattern changer. It is adding a bunch of extremeness to what's going on. So it's really kind of cool that even though these guys, you can tell, look the same, they're very, very different. All right, moving on, let's finish going through this rack. I have actually a lot of ones in here, so my next one is one that was labeled Mystery Keep. I also have Pewter Blast written on here. Again, going through the egg data books, he did breed the stuff to a lot of different other males. So now this one obviously has the pewter gene in it. You can tell by the color. That's where this darker color is coming, which makes sense at some of the other mysteries that I have in the breeding group already. But you can definitely see that crazy mystery pattern going on in this. So this is definitely the mystery gene along with all of the other ones. And this one's a female. So another one that I'm definitely going to be breeding this year. Moving on, the next one, female keep. Okay, so this one, funny enough, actually let's put these two side by side. This will look more like your regular pewter. You're not seeing all of that broken up pattern, you're seeing the pewter kind of patterning in there and the coloration. Whereas this one here is definitely expressing that mystery gene. So now you've got these two right here, just like I showed you with the lemon blast. Now this one may or may not carry that gene. I really don't know. We really haven't bred it enough to know what is going on with this. If it's something that is recessive, it is something that is an incomplete dominant. So I have to really go through these books, really look at these things, because the truth of the matter is, I'm not gonna lie, this isn't a project that Brian and I really talked about too much. He had it set up, but especially in the last couple years, we had a lot of stuff going on, and talking about these few projects that he had down were really not top on our priority. So that is why now I am really trying to do this research to try to figure this stuff out and prove these genes out. Let's keep looking. Here's the next one I found that is the same clutch as the last one. Again, we've got the same thing. It definitely has that pewter pattern to it. A little bit of marbling on the belly, but not really. I wouldn't call that the mystery gene showing up. So I think this is just a pewter that came from the mystery. So let's see what the next one is. Again though, another female that I definitely will be able to prove out this year. Next thing is another one out of another clutch. It says on the cage, Cine Yellow Belly. Now I'll have to look at that clutch number and see if that's actually true or not. But you can see right here, right? It definitely looks really just like a cinnamon. It has the coloration, the patterning. I don't see anything that really tells me anything about it being mystery other than just it came out of that clutch. So another girl, she's another potential that I could breed and see what comes out of this. All right, looks like I found another one. This one is actually a male. It is also marked Lemon Blast. So while I do see that it has Lemon Blast traits, I think I do still see a lot more pattern and definitely that kind of breaking up and dotting than a normal would have. And this is a male, so he's potentially a mystery male. I'll definitely keep him and put him aside. Boy, I'm gonna have a lot of decisions to make with which ones I'm gonna breed to what. But let's just figure out exactly what I have in the group first, and then we'll make those decisions. All right, found another one. This one is labeled Pinstripe, but out of the mystery. But I think this definitely has the mystery gene in it, right? Because this is not a normal pinstripe. Look at that crazy pattern. It definitely is expressing that crazy mystery pattern in it. I kind of feel like we need to come up with a name for this gene too. If you guys want to go ahead and throw me some ideas, I have a few in my head, but I think something to do with how this thing really scrambles the pattern and really makes that kind of pattern pattern scrambler, whatever. This gene probably should have something to do with that. But this is a female, so she is hit or miss. She's pretty small. I don't know that I'd be able to breed her this year, but I definitely will next year. But I'll put her in the keeper raiser rack and get her up to size and then see what we can get out of her. I got another one here, marked Lemon Blast. This is definitely a mystery. Look at that. Now that I am familiar with what that gene is doing, now I can see it like Brian saw it. Honestly, at the beginning of this, I'm like, what's so special about it? But now I definitely see why he thought this was really cool and why he wanted to prove this out. And hopefully you guys following this video can also see what I'm talking about too. It's actually a really cool gene. I'm so happy that I did keep these and I'm able to do this because this is really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna keep working this project that he handpicked and popped out of nowhere. This means a lot to me. So actually, I'm really excited about seeing what else I have. But I have one more on this rack, so let's see what that one is. This one is funny because it actually says Scooby Lemon Blast, because I'm sure if you guys went back in the videos over the years, he just had different weird names that he was putting on. First, he was doing Scooby and then he changed it to Mystery. And honestly, at the beginning, I thought they were different things, but now I realize these are all the same gene. But look at this one. This one is actually a male, but it's definitely a mystery too, in that it has that really dissipated, scrambled, kind of dotty kind of pattern. I'm excited. I'm going to take all of these animals that I have, I'm going to put them in a rack, inventory them, and then come up with a really cool breeding program this year to see what I do, to see what we can prove out, to see what comes out of these, and really document this. So hopefully you guys are just excited as I am for this, because this is actually really cool. I think we're going to come out with some really cool things and get a lot of really good answers. Okay guys, so doing a little research, I'm going to show you the parents to the next babies I'm going to show you. This female here was the one who produced these babies in that clutch 76 I'm going to show you. This definitely was the male as well. Both of these, as you can tell, carry that pewter gene in them, because you can tell by the coloration, but look at how crazy the necks are. So they both have that really cool whiteness in the neck, and I'm going to show you what breeding these two together did, which is really, really crazy. Look at this girl. Now, number one, I love the colors. I am always a fan of the dark colors in ball pythons, but look at that crazy cool neck. I believe there was 2 of these guys that really express these genes. And actually, even look at the neck. It's even went down a little bit the sides of the neck as well, which is really, really cool. And if you look really close, now this girl is very dark, so it's hard to tell, but if you look really close, you can see that wacky mystery pattern that is going on even under all that darkness. Would this be a super mystery? So the cool thing I see going on in here is, again, trying to figure out the genetics, right? The reason why this guy is so dark is because both of the parents had that pewter gene in. So when you breed that gene together, much like the cinnamon, you can get that super form, right? Which will be solid dark, solid black. So this has the beginnings of that, with also the markings that you can see through of the mystery. But the weird thing also is the crazy neck thing. That definitely got accentuated even more in this one versus what the parents are, which personally I think is really cool and looks cool. Let's take a look at one of the siblings to this one. Here's the sister, and look at even cooler, right? Same thing, that crazy whiteness. You even have a little paradoxing on the neck and even the freckling along the body, which can be very common if you're talking about like a super cine or something like that too. So those things connect to that gene for sure. But again, same thing. If you really look back deep under the color, you can still see that crazy patterning that is under the surface of that too. I really like how this is going. I'm actually getting pretty excited as far as dissecting all these genes and genetics and kind of figuring out exactly what's going on. To me, this is really cool. Let's see what else hatched out of that clutch. Here's another female. Now she is going to be a lot lighter. So this one definitely you can see is showing the pastel genes by that bright yellow, and also has some of those pewter kind of colors as well. So you can dissect that, and this one, because it's so light, you can really see the crazy scrambled pattern. Just all that speckling, like literally the pattern, it's almost like it exploded, right? It's just demolished, and this is all that's left, is just little tiny speckles and dots. Again, that's kind of neat. When they're lighter, you can kind of see again under what's going on. But look at, she's got that same cool head with that really light thing. Now hers is more on her head, where the others I think extended a little on the neck, but it's very, very similar and actually pretty cool. Let's see what's next. Another girl that is definitely a little bit different. So again, this one I can tell, you can tell by the yellow, it definitely is carrying some of the pastel in it, but definitely has that pewter color even more so in it. Look at that head. We have that same really cool head pattern that's going on. Those little dissipated spots of white that are showing up. This is very cool. Again, same thing. You can see that just demolished pattern going on here. It's just the little speckles, hardly anything else. Very cool, very crazy that these guys are so varying. But that's genetics for you, right? I think I have one more. Now this one here is actually in shed. So it isn't this blue normally. So it's got that really blue cast, but again, you can tell it has those pewter colorations. It's that darker, that grayish color on it, but you can definitely still see, look at the head. All the ones in this clutch had that really cool head / neck pattern, right? Some were a little bit more on the head, others went down a little bit further on the neck, which is also interesting. Talking the same thing, a very demolished pattern, just that little speckling going on. I'm very excited to actually see what we have. I've got a really good group, and now the hard part is actually deciding what do I breed to what, because what am I trying to find out and what am I trying to prove? So I got to put a lot of thought into this, but I'll definitely be sharing with you what my breeding project decisions are. All right, guys, why don't you help me out here? Now you see exactly what the mystery gene is and what it kind of does. So why don't you help me and give me some ideas of what I should breed this to and see what kind of really cool combos that it could do, or what should I breed it to see what happens? Honestly, the sky's the limit, and I would love to hear from you what your ideas are on that.
Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, there's a playlist that you can watch all kinds of videos. You can also hit that subscription button. It would mean a lot to me. Also, hit that like button while you're down there. Have a wonderful day, Reptile Army. Remember, be kind to someone, and I promise I'll see you in the next one.